No.
No? Okay. Sure.
Okay. When last you left the party, if I remember correctly, Spider was trying to calm his horse down, um, while the rest of you, Roe and Barrett, had gone to the guardhouse. Correct?
Yes.
As Narga and Sim went to the mayor's house.
Believe so. And Narga found a portal.
Yes, Narga, after stealing a bunch of stuff from the mayor's office, with one of the flail snail shells on his back, slipped into the shadows and disappeared, and Sim just has no idea where he is. But, Spider, you have a question.
Yes. You saw my hand. That's awesome. Also, I wasn't actually here last time, so while I may have been calming horse last time I played, I have no idea what happened.
Okay.
So I
So
believe,
I
yeah,
followed along trying to calm my horse the whole time.
Basically the whole session, yeah.
I believe you had that. What was that memory thought between everyone where he's like, I know important shit is being stolen right now.
You did see a naked man running down the streets, and your companions actually intercepted him for the guards.
That would explain why it's blocked out of my memory. Perfect, thanks.
Yep. I have two of them.
Was it a human?
No.
He looked human, yes.
Okay, so I wasn't impressed.
Yep. Drask, you also would have seen this strange person running through the streets, and you would have seen Ro actually assist in getting him to the guards and go into the guardhouse. Ro and Barrett, you're coming out and you were heading to the mayor's office to try to find the rest of your party. However, as you come out, one of the guards comes rushing up behind you, panting, and said, Sven escaped. He's gone. We don't know how he got out of his shackles.
Shit. We had all run towards the screaming when that happened, right? Other than Narga.
I need to remember the screaming.
Because when they were yelling initially that he escaped and the Tabaxi ran to go see what was happening, I think that was when Barrett was going with and Narga peeled off to go to the mayor's or something.
Yeah, because Narga was stealing everything. I believe I was the only one that had perception to hear like the explosion, and then I was going back to where Narga was. And Spider like was finally calming his horse, and it perked up to the spider sense that he has, or we deemed it. You have spider sense.
Yep.
Clearly.
That your party was stealing very valuable stuff.
My party was stealing or being stolen from?
Stealing.
Because that's not how spider sense works, but I approve.
It's a different type of spider. Spider was
So, yes, that's right. You guys met up at the mayor's office. You were running back towards the guardhouse, and along the way, this guard stops you and lets you know that he escaped. Drask, you see this party following Ro and going to the guards and talking to them and talking about the person that escaped. Narga, however, nowhere to be seen. The mayor, that half-elf Yasab that you were speaking to, and the Tabaxi are both there questioning the guard, what precautions were taken, what was the room like, etc., like that. And Yasab looks very frustrated at this point, and is going to greet Ro and Barrett, who he only briefly spoke with last session. And the guard at this point has let him know that you have agreed to look into the farms that people have gone missing from, and some of their bodies have been found as though they were run down and torn apart. He thanks you for your assistance, and he does let you know that The Ruby Enclave has asked that if you'd be willing to look into the nature of the rituals and sanctify the areas on which they have been held, the Ruby Enclave would be able to compensate you for that. He will also let you know that the merchant princes, one of them, has actually put out a bounty for a rare monster hide to decorate his home with. The bounty does not specify what kind of rare monster.
Got that flail.
You do indeed still have the flail snail shells. So, that is where we are at right now.
Pretty much sure that we could all count as a rare monster if we want to really collect on this.
Do you really want to hang out on his wall, though?
Well, I mean, okay, let me explain this scam to you. We collect payment, we mug the guy, we leave.
No. Got other shit to do. You would try and turn in the flail snail shell, which is a tongue twister. But if you want to try and turn that in, we can prepare to leave for the southern farmsteads in the morning. Or actually, we can. What time is
That way Narga's not lugging these around everywhere.
You're right, we should scout out the location first. We should totally turn these in.
All right. Yeah.
Good thinking.
You and Barrett go together.
That's an endorsement.
It really is.
Wait, are you allowing this?
I'm allowing it. I'll let you two go do that, and for simplicity's sake, maybe Sim, since Chester's not here, can stay with me.
Okay.
And we can get materials and stuff and prepare to leave. Where can we ask the guards or whoever's nearby where the nearest inn we can stay at for the night might be, so we can leave in the morning?
Of course. The guards will direct you. A moment.
Guards. Leaving in the morning should give you plenty of time for whatever ridiculousness you two are going to get into.
So we can steal more shit before we leave.
Steal from children again. Try not to steal from possessed children again. Try not to set anything on fire again.
Hey, Spider, that mayor had a bunch of interesting
Yeah, but Narga took most of it.
wares.
Always been interested in politics.
I believe Narga left some stuff behind.
I think he took.
Or let's see what Narga found, actually.
Oh yeah, you guys should go and
Find out what he has.
tell me that Narga's missing, because we don't technically know that yet.
Okay, so Elbun is the merchant prince that you need to find to turn in the bounty. See if he wants the flail snails on the wall. You are. Saab lets you know that the Crowbar, Drado the Port, and the Hairy Minotaur are the three taverns/inns in this area.
Well,
taverns in the area. And the Sleepy Bean Inn is
that sounds adorable. I'm going to.
is also available with rooms at the moment, though they are packing up to head up into the mountains like everyone else, but they are still open.
Then I will tell Spider and Barrett, find Narga for me, figure out what you're doing with this prince thing, but by the end of the night, meet with me at I'll get rooms for everybody at the Sleepy Bean, and I'll tell them where all that is.
Okay, if we don't show up for the Sleepy Bean, we'll meet you at that one spot outside of town that we passed on the way in, because we're probably hiding.
Did we enter through the south?
No.
Becca, or no?
Through the... Let me look at the map real quick.
Okay, good. It's not just me. I was like, wait a second.
Just you.
Okay. I think we came from the east, but...
Yep, you came from the east.
Okay.
I just need to double check how far up. Yep, you came pretty much from the east.
Okay. Then I would tell you guys, if you do get in trouble, for the love of God, please try not to.
Which one?
All of them.
No promises.
Let's meet outside the southern border of town, and if there's a mountain range or a landmark or something down there, I would describe that. I don't actually know.
Okay, so I will actually shift your guys' screen over so you can
Hey.
see the map real quick.
Cool. And when we leave town, I want to have a discussion with you, Ro. I think we should change the focus of our band to banditry.
We
We've
can
got
have that
some
discussion if you
really,
want.
really good wilderness survival skills. I think we can make a profit off of this.
I'm not interested in a profit, but I'm willing to hear the concerns of my subordinates.
I mean, we could donate it to charity or whatever it is you do with your cut.
She actually is. I don't know how much of a bridge of her nose she would have as a lizard folk, but whatever the translation of that gesture is, she does that.
You furrow your brow.
But I gave it I'm the lizard. And I'll turn to Barrett. I know that you are incredibly easily swayed by Spider. Please try to keep out of trouble. We're here to help these people. Good luck. Remember to find Narga. First priority, please. Tell him to meet us at the Sleepy Bean as soon as possible.
So as we're walking off, I'm going to say loud enough for Ro to hear. Did you see that she winked?
Oh my god! Hold on, what spell?
Did she say help ourselves or help others? I didn't quite catch that part.
I forget.
You know-
Did you just produce flame to set them on fire or no? Did you determine
So,
is that
produce
not?
flame, it's a bonus action to cast. It produces flame in your hand. It is an action to throw it at someone.
Which is a deadly insult in troll culture. I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
Is it really? Can I instead druid craft some? Let's see. Other than I was gonna say shit, but I want to actually. Can I just druid craft like a vine out of the ground to trip the both of them? I don't want to hurt them, but just come on.
I'm only half troll, so I won't be really offended. But
just half.
Slightly.
Go ahead, Barrett and Spider, and give me a dexterity check for me.
she's putting us in our place. Look at this.
Yep.
She's trying. She's never been good at it.
On the map, can everyone find the little person icon?
Yes.
No.
If I look,
Yeah, I was gonna say I have it to zoom. There we go. My spell save is 14, if that helps at all for the dex check.
Barrett, you do actually trip and stumble. Spider, you notice the vine coming out and just step right over it. So, that's where Sherwood is. The farms are down this way to the south, and through the mountain pass, you actually entered over this way.
Okay.
man, it's hard to read lizard folk, but I think she likes you.
You're the one stealing it. You're the one getting caught stealing. I'm the one who gets tripped.
Okay, and for Drask's benefit, Ro, who you know, was just talking to this dwarf and this troll, half troll, and seemed to order them off somewhere. A satyr is actually still standing next to her, and is probably doing something odd, like playing on his flute.
Yep.
Or prancing about because he's starting to get bored, because that's what Sim does.
Yep.
But now at least half of the people that she was talking to are gone. What would you like to do?
Where am I exactly?
So, if we are going to be using this map that I have the characters on, where did I actually put you guys?
We're at the top center still.
Right.
Yeah, I have me on the map because I'd have dropped me to put the initiative.
Yeah,
but
I will shift you
There you
if
go.
you don't mind. You are probably standing somewhere down this southern alley, kind of up against one of the buildings, I would think. I would imagine that due to the fact that this particular port town is packing up and trying to leave to the mountains, that you maybe had been heading to one of the taverns or the inn to do any last business yourself before you headed out.
All right. Why was I in town?
I am not entirely sure. You were being trained as a military member of the Needy. Um,
You could have been there for like a liaison mission. I don't know. Maybe you were just checking because you had heard about this need for an evacuation and were going to nearby towns.
I know exactly why you're there.
Ah,
You've
So,
scaled.
you actually got sent out by your higher ups in the military, letting you know that the diviner Pearl had recognized that this particular town was going to be evacuated and part of it was going to be hit. And Ro, who is also a noble of your culture, was going to be directly in line with the danger, and she had bamfed out after meeting with some cranium rats before Pearl could let Ro know that he needed to make sure that the evacuation happened within a day or two.
So I'm here to tell her that.
Yep, and Pearl actually had used a ring with a spell stored in it to teleport you all the way over here.
Great. So I am confused where I am.
Yes. You basically just got told, find Rose. She's only got about a day and a half before the town gets hit by the flood. And then you're going to have to find your way home. Your superiors in this were not very forthcoming, and they were basically like, here's the information, go. Pushed you through the portal.
Sounds about right.
All right. Which? All right. Come in here. I'll probably look around. As soon as I see Ro, I will immediately go towards her.
Okay.
But I don't know which one she is out of all these icons.
I'm the lizard. I'm this woman.
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'll just immediately go right up to her.
Okay.
Are we in combat right now? Is this something I should be worried about?
No.
No. We're just chatting.
All right. I'm like, we're in initiative, and I'm like, there's things wandering around. There's things I don't know.
No.
All right. Yeah, I will walk up right to her and explain the situation that
Okay.
the divider, like, I'm here to make sure you leave and get things.
Alright, Ro would be delighted to see Drask again. I imagine it's probably been at least a few years since you've seen each other for various reasons, probably. But when you tell her that we need to get out within a day or two, she will probably about face and try to follow Spider and Barrett to cut that, because getting out of here and getting everyone out of here now takes precedence over selling a shell.
Go ahead and roll yours, Barrett.
You don't know that I'm coming after you. You don't know. Fine, passive perception. Hold up. Where's it at? No. We're gonna fight. I'm gonna fight you
This
now.
is why we started with the initiative
Oh
stuff.
my god.
This happens a lot.
So there's in the party conflict stuff going on.
It's less conflict and more I'm an exasperated mother of kittens trying to herd them, and they're all self-destructive and somewhat combustive. So
We are the Sun Puppies.
yeah. Ha! That's my perception. I see your ass trying to sneak through an alley.
Okay.
Yay, Sim!
Hey, perfect timing.
Hey, Chris is here.
Hey,
Alright.
We were saying Puerto Rico Wi-Fi is more reliable than your hotel.
Well, like the problem is when your floor's router is the only one's the problem, because they're down in the lobby saying no, sir, the internet's working fine, and I'm like, yeah, if I walk down there, you're absolutely right, the internet works fine. Now when I come here to my floor, it says you're connected to the router, and it says no internet available. Because I'm in IT, I try and explain this to the people who are not ITs, because I need to motivate them to call somebody.
Yeah. I'm glad it works out eventually. I'm sorry, though.
It happens. Sorry I kept you guys waiting, or that you didn't.
Oh, you're fine.
So, yeah, we're catching Spider and Barrett to go out of town because
Okay.
we need to get out and finish helping the people in the southern farms ASAP to get everybody out of here.
Sure.
Okay, I'll catch up to Spider and Barrett, and that's what I'll say is update and information. We're leaving tonight.
Okay, we'll be back.
Barrett, at this point, your bag of book membership actually dings.
The bag of Kindle.
Yes, your bag of Kindle actually.
Yes. I'm gonna take a look immediately. Just like, I think Spider's kind of concerned how excited I am digging through my bag. What do I find inside?
The title of the book is Tentacles on the Ice.
Let me add that in here. I'm saving this for later when we wind down for the night at the Sleepy Bean.
We're not going to the Sleepy Bean anymore. We're leaving immediately.
We got a day and a half.
No, 2 hours. Have you seen how uncoordinated and unfocused this group is? I need every damn minute I can get from you people.
You say this was tentacles on ice?
Yep.
Sim
Tentacles
was
on the
very
ice.
productive. Sim was very productive in the last session.
He was incredibly productive. He can't direct our path, though. He is not our compass. The decision's been made.
Every time I get to lead, we end up having fun. I feel like you're being very judgmental. Just because we didn't end up where you wanted to be doesn't mean we didn't end up somewhere fun.
You did end up somewhere fun. We just need to do this before we end up with the somewhere fun.
Plus, we're here in this town to save valuable artifacts that are going to be destroyed shortly.
Yeah.
The people are more important than the artifacts.
Well, you're going to rescue the people. We're going to rescue the artifacts. We have an interest in historical, valuable things.
Okay, I'll actually look at Drask because thank God you're here.
Who's that?
Chris.
And I'm sorry to throw you into this. Would you mind going with them to make sure that they meet me in 2 hours at the southern entrance to the town? If they refuse to cooperate, feel free to leave them and join me and we'll go without them.
What's Drask look like?
Like me, I assume.
Would you like to describe Drask?
Drask is another lizard folk. Almost looks a lot like Ro, except for that he is quite massive. He's like large sized. And he's completely white except for his tail has patches of golden scales on there. Kind of like how a pied ball python looks. Bright blue eyes. He has a massive greatsword on his back.
Yes.
He has a chain shirt.
Better equipped than me by a long shot.
Yeah.
Little more intimidating.
A little bit.
Is this your
I'm
kid?
a royal hippie. No. We're friends. Childhood friends.
Nice to meet you, Rose Dad.
No, not that funny either.
Huh?
We're actually almost the same age. That would be awkward. Unless
I don't know how lizards work.
Not like that. So, yeah.
Oh, wait,
Sim?
so you wanted us to take him where?
No, you don't have to take him anywhere. He's going to go with you so you guys can get to know one another and make sure that you meet me in 2 hours at the southern entrance of town while I get all our materials and prepare for the trip.
So you want us to train him
He doesn't need training.
in the ways of your secret guild. Got it. Let's go.
I look at Jurassic and I'm like, no, in our language, so. Really quick, by the way. So you can't sass me. There's no secret guild. Help me out, man. It's like babysitting, just really quick. They're all real fresh.
He cocks
I need
an eye
another
at
set
you.
of eyes. Yes.
He just cocks an eye, like really? And just kind of shrugs a little bit and just like, okay, let's see.
Thank you.
So as we're walking away, I will loud enough for Ro to hear say, "You see her eyebrow go up like that? She winked. That's Peeves can't. That means that what she's saying is the opposite. It's a code that we came up with."
I wanna Druid crap divine again and trip him. I want to just talk.
If you trip me again.
No, not you anymore. You're not being sassy this time as well, unless we're going to. I mean,
Sim starts tapping Ro
I'm
on the shoulder.
curious if Drask is a purveyor of exotic goods, as Spider is.
Yes, she'll. Yes, look at Sim. What?
Sim is just like machine gun tapping Ro on the shoulder to get her attention.
She's turned and looked at you and said yes.
Where's Puppy?
That's where you and I are going. We're going to go try and find him while they go do whatever they're doing.
Okay,
But
good.
I do want to do the vine thing and try and trick specifically Spider.
Okay.
Sim's gonna
His
look at Barrett and be like, "This is what
was
happens when you
24,
let
so
Ro take
he
Puppy for a walk."
nimbly dodges out of the way.
Damn it. Spider, trip on my shit. For the love of God, give me this.
So Spider will forget to duck on the way out and bump his head on my door still.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Give me something. Alright. Yeah, I guess Sim and I will... Because Sim would know where Narga went.
Not entirely.
Oh.
So Sim was questioning the prisoner and the guards, remember, in the other room. You and Narga went to talk to the mayor and them, and then you actually came to talk to Sim. Because Becky and I were messaging this, and I'm fairly confident that Sim never went to the mayor's office.
Okay.
I think you and I were talking outside of the mayor's office.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then the Narga scene happened that I don't know about. So.
Oh, okay. Well, then what would happen is you and I would then go right back to the mayor's office because Ro assumes Narga's still there then. I misremembered.
Yeah. Yasab and Malit, the Tabaxi, are both still there. Yasab is cursing up a storm in the middle of his office, looking through basically a display case that everything is missing from.
Really politely, knock on the door. Yeah, the door frame.
Yep, he goes,
Hi.
Yes, how can I help you?
Well, I'm looking for one of our friends who I was
He's
here
my
with
puppy.
him earlier. I was here with him earlier. I think you met him, Narga, and I'll gesture about yay tall, that one.
Sim jumps that his face can be seen over Ro's shoulders. He's my puppy.
We don't have him trained yet.
He didn't pee in there, did he?
He is not here. No, he did not pee. But it seems like he or someone broke into Reggie's memorabilia display case.
Oh, that doesn't sound like Puppy. Spider maybe, but not Puppy.
Well, then I should have a talk with this Spider.
She'll real quick, just
he went that way.
elbows him.
He's a really great guy. And I'm going to point in the way I'm pretty sure he went, but it could be completely wrong because Sim's completely navigationally challenged.
A D4 and you just point in
I'm not even intentionally trying to mislead them. I'm genuinely going to go with whatever way I think they went, which could be wrong.
Maybe that way? Could be that way.
Yasab pinches the bridge of his nose, mutters something, and flicks his hand, and time briefly reverses around you. Not actually to you, but around you in the office by
Nifty.
by about an hour, and then it starts checking forward in
So
30
Sim
seconds.
decides to have fun with this and starts walking backwards, around the office, and he's doing things backwards. And he even speaks backwards because he's that eloquent of a bard, that he is speaking as he walks backwards and puts on a performance.
Nice.
You can go ahead and roll a performance check to see how convincing you are.
Oh, I'm definitely
Flawless.
Very, yeah.
I'm not going to use my Fey magic this time. Just a genuine. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah, you sink in so well with it.
The guy's probably I didn't know I could affect people with this.
Yes, Malik specifically, the Tabaxi is looking really confused and actually starts following you around as you're doing this.
Oh my god.
And she keeps looking up at Yusab and then back at you, and up at Yusab and back at you.
Just want him to believe that like Sim was there an hour ago, going through all these motions.
Just shot my credibility on the foot. Spider's now officially implicated.
So,
It was going to happen anyways.
it does finally get to the point where you can actually see Narga walk into the room, and it slows down, so it's real time now. Narga walks into the room, and he's kind of looking around. He's poking at different shadows, and then he notices the display case. And he
Sim
walks-
tries to interface with the puppy illusion now. Like completely gave up on his routine. Puppy! And he like tried to hug him. I don't know if I would pass through him or.
Oh yeah, no, you passed right through him.
Okay, well that ruins
Aw.
facts now. They know I was faking.
Yep.
I'll be like, Puppy? What did you do to Puppy?
You
And out
see-
comes the whip. What did you do to Puppy?
It's just a time show. Time show.
Oh,
it
Illusion.
revisits what happened in an area briefly.
I need to learn this.
You do see Narga open up the display case, and he starts like pulling out the different items. You see him pull out a pair of gauntlets, and he's holding them, and he pulls out a bow, actually a crossbow, and a shield, and a couple of other things. And then he turns, and his ears actually turn first, as though he heard something. And he looks over to a corner and goes and pokes it, and then slips right into the shadows in the corner of the room.
That's not like Puppy. Maybe it's a different puppy. Ro, did that smell like Puppy?
I couldn't smell him, but that was definitely Narga. Remember that kind of sort of not cat thing from
He's a
the other
cat.
night that disappeared through a portal? That looks like the same portal. Or a similar one.
Yeah, and Puppy does like to chase cats.
He does. Yes, that's my thought. Just kind of like side-eye the Tabaxi and be like, don't get offended. For the love of God, please. You're scary and will beat me up.
She really is.
She
So
really
Sim's gonna go over and like get down where that shadow pool was and like lick the ground there.
Okay, it
Because
tastes
he licks
like
it.
the floor.
He's gonna tap on it.
It tastes like, why did you lick that?
I'm
I
testing.
understand why.
Scientific method. Now then he knocks on it to see if there's any like strange properties, and he'll be like, "That's weird. It tastes like normal floor to me. I don't know how it did that thing."
Can I, well, he's Fae, so probably would have known, but I don't suppose using like my lodestone and looking through that would show me anything.
You could try.
Okay, I'll do that. I don't know if that's a woman or anything, but I would try that.
I'm gonna use
So-
prestidigitation to draw a black like area just in the same shape of it, and then try and jump into it. like Bert from Mary Poppins trying to jump
Yeah.
into a picture and failing.
So if Ro's holding up your lodestone right as Sim is doing that, when he
Yeah.
hits the shadow, there is a very brief, almost like sparkle effect, expanding out from the shadow and then fading back in to nothingness, and then it's gone.
Oh,
Did I see that? Because I will jump repeatedly.
No, you did not.
like the world's worst tap dance.
I have hooves. That's probably one of the world's
Best.
Natural, certainly. Would I make a kind of karma check to try and see if I know what that may have been, like what caused the sparks? Obviously his steps, but I mean,
Yes, you can try.
it won't go well. I'm just putting
Well-
that out there now. Ah.
Yeah, even with that roll, you know it was something magical, but you haven't
Yeah.
heard of anything that would open a shadow path like that.
Okay. I guess we'll just have to trust that Nargo will find us.
Puppy does have a keen sense of smell. And it looks like he wasn't stealing. He was holding those things and got distracted and then sucked into whatever that was.
Actually, yeah, that looked like an accident.
Yeah, he'll probably try and bring those back. Puppy's very, very straight-laced.
We did just finally explain to him what fetch is.
That's true. He may have been trying to play without us.
Yeah, he didn't seem to quite have a good grasp on it. She's not actively trying to
No.
lie. she just kind of genuinely doesn't want this to become a problem, so she's choosing neutral.
Okay.
Very diplomatic.
Oh no, deception.
You can go ahead and give me a persuasion check with advantage because
Okay.
I got you, boo.
Oh, are you doing it? Okay, thank God. I have a 2. You do it.
I mean, do I get an assist because she was also speaking?
yes, that 29 is going to be yeah. So Isab goes, all right. It does genuinely look like he was looking at Reggie's items before he got distracted. We will hopefully see him again with that memorabilia. Is there anything else we can help you with? I don't think I can do anything to help you get your puppy back.
Yes, I would like to learn how you did that. Because there are some scenes that should really be recreated for posterity in multiple
knew
places
it.
around the world
I knew it.
that arrived that I'm pretty sure we can make some good bank off of.
Oh my
Well,
God.
once my people are safe, I am more than willing to sit down with you and teach you how to do that.
Whoa! I don't want to sit. Mm-mm.
We don't have to sit. We can stand.
Instead of just the magic Kindle, there's going to be like a magic book that when you open it, it's moving pictures, and those moving pictures change every month, and it's called like a VHS. And you don't know what that stands for, but every month you get a new thing.
That's virtual sim in your home.
Ah, virtual home
Sim.
I like it.
Yes, virtual home sim. I like it.
And it's his adventures throughout every one.
Just want Sim reminiscing on that big party they had in the center of town.
Everyone opens up with him in a chair with like one of those big like curly Sherlock pipes, and he blows
Velvet
smoke
rope.
rings and narrates the setup for the scene you are about to witness, and reminds you that this might not be family appropriate fun, or
Depends on
maybe it is,
no,
depending
okay.
upon your
Yeah,
definition.
no, I was gonna make that joke and then thought maybe that's a joke we should fucking make. Moving on.
If you're named
Alright.
Lannister, maybe it is.
Alright, so, change the subject. This is not a PG game. Yeah.
Real
After
quick,
you-
before we get
yes.
back to your group,
Okay.
Spider and Barrett,
Yes.
what would you like to do? Because I know Travis is going to have to step away from us for a moment.
Yeah.
So, Barrett, are we going to go volunteer at the orphanage, or... Well, first we should return that collector's things to him for the reward. To help the orphans.
I will follow your lead unless your spidey senses pick up on anything else.
So, how many shells do we have?
You have 2. Narga had 1 on his back to assist you.
Okay.
So you've only lost 1 thus far. And Narga still has it.
Okay.
And are we like dragging these things?
No, Spider put them on his horse.
Okay.
Horse. Yes. So let's go do that first.
Which reminds me, Barrett, what is your passive perception?
Hold on. 16.
Okay, then you do notice that the horse does have 2 little nubs, one on top of the other, on its forehead that have started growing. They were not
I'm gonna
there
tell.
when you first saw this horse.
And tell Spider, what's up with your horse, by the way?
Oh, he's more of a pony. He's teething.
Outside of his
I meant more so of his face region.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
he's pretty handsome, right?
Now,
Well,
as for
I'll say what are these, and I try to kind of like reach out to pet the horse.
give me an animal handling check.
Oh boy.
It rears away from you and then headbutts you with those same nubs.
I think he might be part goat.
That's how they play.
You know, there's half trolls, there's half
Pretty
goats,
sure
too.
20 hits.
Pretty sure I'm knocked on my ass.
Okay, you do get knocked over, but you only take 3 points of piercing / bludgeoning damage.
But the damage is your pride. That's correct.
Oh man, sorry about that. He's jumpy.
Now, as for Barrett's hat, it is a glorious mane of feathers, and the feathers have now come down to about his shoulder. And the tips of the feathers almost look like little teeth at this point.
Are they like digging into his shoulders yet?
No, they're not just digging into his shoulder. However, Drask, what is your passive perception?
14.
You do see one of the feathers that looked like it was from the dwarf's hat is on Ro's back.
Could you inspect me? Shitty mimic headjump thing? How could I have noticed that? Because my passive perception of that too. Could I have noticed?
Not at all.
It's on your back. So that would be kind of
I was
with...
16.
You do feel something tickling your back on occasion. I will say that.
Grass will tell me later.
Yeah. Alright. Spider and Barrett.
I'll help him up. Here you go. Sorry about that. You know how these things are. Horses.
Can I get back up just and kind of like point
Yeah, you can.
to it
Absolutely.
rather? Just very shy. So really, is your horse part goat?
I'm not really an expert on horses so much. I suppose it's possible. But,
Would
over
I
here,
notice? Do I notice anything more than that then?
Are you investigating it?
Yes.
You can do a nature or survival check.
I've avoided doing that for several games now.
I know.
Just let it.
You're ruining the surprise.
So, this horse's hooves are actually cloven.
Yeah, aren't most horses?
No, not.
Hey, I gotta step away for a second.
Okay,
Little.
sorry.
Don't abuse the horse.
Okay, so Barrett, yes, this horse's hooves are cloven like a goat's, only they're much larger than a goat's hoof would be.
Okay. And I didn't notice this before.
No, you were very distracted by other things.
Okay. Sorry, just real quick, out of character. Do we want to wait till Travis comes back to continue that part so he's aware of it?
Yes, so we're gonna skip
Okay.
back to Sim, Ro, and Drask.
Grass went with Spider and Barrett.
Drask, what? Something?
I thought Drask went with Spider and Barrett.
He
Yeah.
did.
Keep an eye on them for me.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
Because I don't trust them for shit anymore.
Okay, Drask, with your passive perception then. Before you left Ro, you did notice one of the feathers, and you have also noticed that this horse has little nubs on its forehead. That the ends of the feathers on Barrett's hat look like the tiny teeth, and with your passive, that this horse is definitely not a horse because it has cloven hooves like a goat, not like a horse.
How big is this horse?
It's actually pretty big. So I'm 5'7", and it is still a growing horse, but its back is up here. It's like a pony, just like Spider said. Like it's a young foal or filly. It's still growing, but it's a pretty good size already.
Great. In my mind, I'm just thinking, what's wrong with these people?
A lot.
All right. So, Ro and Sim, you are still there with Yusab. You have convinced Yusab that Narga was not intentionally stealing all this stuff.
Yeah.
Is there
I
anything
mean,
else you
he
would like
probably
to tell?
really was. But...
Oh yeah, no, he definitely was. I got very excited. It was like, I take everything.
Aside Sim from feeling pretty proud that he just secured an agreement to learn this cool spell, He's like suddenly motivated to do whatever it was again that Ro said that they would do. Because he doesn't know what that was, but he knows if he helps, he's going to learn a really cool spell that is going to make him a lot of money.
And probably some pleasure too, because that'll be fun at the parties.
Yes.
So,
He's going to be super famous.
Ro is thrilled about this particular part of the development, regardless of the everything about it. She's like, oh, thank God. Okay, he has a direction and it's on our side. We'll see how well that goes, but... Oh my God. So we're meeting up with I'm speaking to the mayor that we're meeting up with our companions in a couple of hours at the southernmost entrance to the town, and then we're going to leave to help evacuate the farmstead. Is there any other information you can give us that Sasava didn't already tell me?
Possibly. So I know Sasava knew that... I am going to spray you with water, cat.
Thank God. Mine's asleep in his little shark. Oh, you can't.
You can kind of see, yeah.
He's in the shark sleeping.
So, we know the children have been disappearing from the farms.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Some of the people of the farms have been found some distance from their farms, hunted down as if by animals, which is part of the reason that we wanted to question Sven and others from Saber, because they're obviously not completely human. Some of the deaths were elements of strange rituals, with blood being and other things being involved.
Sim can totally explain that. Sim shares what he learned from the prisoner about the ritual to bring back someone. I forget the name now because it's been a week. But the thing. Sim explains everything he learned from
Malar, the beast of Malar.
Yes. Because I want to say Malar like the god from Forgotten Realms, and it's not Forgotten Realms. And that's my remembering it, and I think it's too close. So,
Alright, so
yes, he explains about Malar. The beast of Malar, and how these lycanthropes are trying to restore him so that they can get the chimera thing to turn back into lycanthropes or some such nonsense, because some lady started killing and hunting them all.
Yasab looks very confused by this. He does focus on the Beast of Malar, because that's at least something that they can go off of. The chimeras turning into lycanthropes, he's really just confused about.
Understandably.
Some whole families at farms have vanished. No one knows how or why.
So they're being taken to be... They need the innocence for the ritual thing to awaken the Marimor thing.
Quite possibly, but that's what Sasava and I know at this point.
Okay. Then Sim and I will gather whatever provisions we need, and hopefully the rest of our group will meet us pretty quickly at the edge of town.
Okay, so if you are looking for provisions, where is that note? There is Elbon and Vega's trading company. There is also the Golden Sea Trading Company. And as you wander around, you could probably run into Shelhera's apothecary. So there is actually an apothecary in this town.
Okay. Well...
All of the places are trying to pack up, even though they're trying to do last-minute business. Some of the places actually have signs out of big blowout type thing.
Moving sale!
Yeah, pretty much. You do see, though, that Elbon and Vega's Eastern Trading Company and the Golden Sea Trading Company, they have members wandering through the town actually purchasing a lot of different materials specific to Akira, like coffee and cacao and other items, and they are loading it onto ships. So these trading companies are taking advantage of the people trying to evacuate. Seems like the people running the trading companies don't really believe why the people are evacuating.
Okay. Unless Sim has any preferences, we'll probably just go with whatever's nearest, and if we have time to kill after the apothecary, because maybe we can find some magic stuff that would be fun for entertaining Sim on the way.
Alright, would you go ahead and give me a roll a d4 for me?
Okay. 1.
Alright, so Elbin and Vega's Eastern Trading Company is the closest.
Okay, we'll go there first then.
Okay.
I'm mainly thinking we just need to stock up on rations and things and just continue. I'm sure we already have all the information, but just in case anyone else has anything that they can share, like if they know about Malar or anything like that.
Okay.
Sim is very focused for the first time in like ever that you've seen him. Literally, like people aren't even like trying to distract him, but like if his attention starts to focus on someone who's passing, he's like no, and like the hand just gets like
No.
they probably weren't even looking until he like gave him the hand and said no at all. And just, like, so like these are like you would notice that these are conversations he probably would have instigated. But his perception is clearly that they're always instigating to him, so he's telling them no.
Clearly you want me to talk to you, even though you don't know I exist yet, but I'm not going to right now. I'm busy.
Yes.
Got it. Love it. Okay.
So,
because he's a celebrity. He knows that they all want to talk to him.
Everyone knows Sim.
So, as you enter the warehouse, there is a front office area, and there is a man sitting there writing in a ledger who stops writing and is actually watching Sim walk through doing the whole note thing. It is a human man with blonde hair and kind of blue eyes, and as you walk up, he will greet you and say, hello, how can I help you? Welcome to Elbin and Vega's Eastern Trading Company.
So Sim walks in and says, hello, I'm Sim. Please stop. Don't make a big deal of it. No time for autographs today. I'm really sorry. We can do fan service when I come back. We're kind of in a hurry. And then I'm going to stop. And like he just like pauses after we're in a hurry because he doesn't necessarily remember what we're here for. And he kind of like looks Ro for a cue. Like he's looking for like a stage cue. Like
supplies.
Yes, we need supplies, and you are the man to talk to because we heard that your supplies are pretty spectacular, and clearly we deserve nothing but the best. And when people see your supplies with me, your market is gonna explode.
Are you actually offering to have our mark on one of your pieces of equipment or gears so people would see it as you are wandering around?
Oh yeah, Ro has no branding on her whatsoever. I mean, look at all this open scale, and like he's gonna like show like the lack of like tattoos on visible scale.
Does this call attention to the feather thing on my back?
Yes, most likely.
Okay, at least I know about it now. I'll be confused, but I'll deal with it later.
Okay.
I would rather not have a brand on my person, but I know that some of my companions likely wouldn't mind, or at least wouldn't notice. So, I mean, Barrett just puts on anything that's nearby and somewhat pretty. So,
as long as it's ornate.
Yeah, as long as it's pretty, he'll wear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am the fabulous dwarf.
You are fabulous.
And he does attract a lot of attention when he walks in the room, especially that time when he was a girl. And like everybody was just floored.
I know what women want. All right.
Days, anatomically speaking.
So,
I do feel a little bit bad for Chris because these are references that he doesn't.
Yeah,
I know I have no context for this.
But now he's gonna go binge Sun Puppies just so that he can understand everything that he has missed.
If you have
My sex was changed in the past, and I partook in both male and female endeavors.
And he also has a habit of going, oh, that's pretty, and then just immediately putting it on, which is what that feather mimic headdress is that now is burrowing its teeth into his brain.
Haven't noticed.
He hasn't noticed yet.
It's like a brain slug from Futurama.
Anyway, so. Yeah, no, if you have, I don't know how many episodes we've done now, but if you've got 10 to 20 hours to kill and want to just watch a bunch of old Sun Puppies episodes.
So I think
Worth
this is going to be episode 13. Each one has
Oh, wow.
been about 2 hours, so 26
Yeah,
hours total.
Okay, 26.
Damn.
Yeah, so if you have a day or two that you want to just power through. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so he is very interested in having this Barrett person who switches sexes have
He's
the
going to
brand.
sponsor him.
He will show you their brand, and he actually takes out a brand that you could see is used to heat up and mark on crates and ships.
Okay.
It is a very ornate icon. It looks like it's two different houses, symbols actually intertwined with the ship in the center.
Oh yeah,
Is this ornate enough?
I could see him rocking that.
I think he'd think it's pretty. Yeah.
Okay, well, if you can get him to either take a brand himself, or possibly if he has leather armor or something similar, we could brand that. And
Oh, and another
then
thought.
I will
Puppy has a
provide.
pin. And we could have like a second flag underneath our company flag
No,
with that same symbol, like a sponsor of the Sun Puppies.
no. Vetoed.
Okay, well, if he's willing to take the brand somehow, and you share that Elbon and Vega's trading company has amazing wares.
Oh, absolutely.
I will not only provide you and your company enough supplies to last you 2 weeks, but anytime you come back to us, you can get 10% off of any purchase.
Ooh, discounts!
That sounds like a fair deal. Something like a cloak, maybe, with the brand on the back. I'm sure Barrett would be more than happy to wear. I don't know if we will have time to stop by with him on our way out. We need to get to the southern farmsteads immediately. We're in a bit of a hurry.
And Sim's going to use Minor Illusion to create an image of the mushrooms that Narga used to have because we ran out. Have you ever seen these? Because we love these, and I would love to buy some.
So first, he does pull out a cloak, and it is embroidered with a symbol on it.
Okay.
He does ask, will this do? It is, however, a very bright purple cloak.
He'll wear it.
Oh, I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
He will then take a look at the mushrooms. Now, are these some of the Zoop Point, like Unity mushrooms, or some of the other ones you got?
That's what we were. I think he had dried ones of those that we were smoking.
Yeah. And I still have a bag of them that I think he forgot that I have.
Yep. So
Well,
the
Sim
ones
doesn't
you
know that, so
smoked,
he thinks we're out.
It's a secret.
the ones you smoked, Narga had actually used radiant energy to cleanse before you guys set him on fire. So as this guy is looking at him, he's going to say, I think I might have seen something similar, but not quite like this. This is much crispier than what I've seen.
Yes, our puppy cooks them, and they get safer for him, apparently. His digestive tract is not as refined and experienced as my own. If I were able to find it minus the crispy, and I try and guess what that would look like and modulate the illusion accordingly, I'm sure we could have someone cook them so that they would be safe for puppy. And I would promise that I would save some for him because I did smoke a considerable amount of his stash before we ran out.
Well, I hate to turn you away regarding that, but we don't quite have a avenue for that yet, but I will keep my eye out.
Absolutely.
We would appreciate that. And knowing that you can work with us such a tight schedule, I'm sure is information that we'd be very happy to pass on to other potential customers.
And if we do find a source of supply, I will give them your card.
Okay.
So the faster the better. Yes.
All right. Well, I will see what I can find out from the sailors in this area. That does look like something that I maybe have seen them have. And I will send you a message if I find any information regarding it.
If you have trouble finding us, I'm sure just asking for Sim the Satyr will lead you very easily to us, or Ro of the Niti Kingdom.
Also,
I give him my full name, Rocho de Suez.
keep your ears to the ground. There's a new entertainment venue. Very rare. No one knows about it yet, but it's going to be huge. Called VHS Fan Service. When you see an opportunity to invest, it's going to be big.
We'll come back with that business proposition after we take care of actual business.
No.
Sim.
It's literally like, we don't.
No
we're
spoilers.
Someone else's business right now as prospective customers. He's doing this in front of the guy.
I know. And Sim's just giving him a very unimpressed, but also like, God, fine, get it out of your system, but let's move on. She's learning. She's like, all right, step back, let this run.
Indulge,
we'll
yeah.
eventually get back on track.
I was pretending to be a prospective customer looking for a very lucrative entertainment venue, so that when he does see it later, he's like, "Oh, I already have customers lined up. He's gonna want to buy more."
So, here's one of the weird things about the role and the trading company you chose. Elbin was the one that had the bounty out for the random monster hide. So around this time, Spider, Barrett, and Trask would be walking.
Oh, thank God.
And that is not me railroading you, because number one was the Elbin and Vega trading company.
It was meant to be.
How convenient.
Oh, speaking of, this is our friend Barrett. Barrett, we have a line on a lucrative new wardrobe for you. It's gonna be big. Like, really, check this out. And he snatches the cloak from whoever's holding it and dramatically like swirls it like in the air like a professional bullfighter.
I'm gonna need a performance. Come on.
No, you want another performance roll?
Yes, please.
Performance roll.
Okay, while Sim is making his performance roll, Chris, Narga, their companion that is missing, you would have seen during... Oh wait, you weren't there with them, were you? No, you weren't there. Never mind. Belay my last, I'm sorry.
All right. So either way, I'm trying to sell Barrett on this outfit that we just basically agreed that he would wear for a discount.
In the background, Rose was like, I bought you a cloak. As you're doing this really dramatic, Rose was like,
Oh yeah. And like as I'm doing all the twirls and dancing around, like I will finish that by like draping it around his neck and like cinching it for him, like
ta-da!
and the last steps are ding, and I've positioned him like somehow just like navigating him with body language in front of a mirror, so that like way, he doesn't even realize that I'm unveiling the mirror reflection of himself wearing his brand new bright purple cloak.
So Barrett, as Sim backs off, you see in the mirror, you are wearing this very bright purple cloak. Your hat's feathers kind of lift out up from underneath it and then settle back down over the top.
I'm gonna like pet the headdress again, like calming it, and then turn to Sim and tell him I love it, and then turn to Spider and be like, I'll need more of your makeup once again.
You are the prettiest dwarf that ever.
Yes. Fabulous.
Okay.
Alright, and Rose just focusing on getting everybody the supplies and rations that we need for the next couple of weeks.
Drask will go up to Ro and nudge her and say, you have a feather on your back.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier. Do you think you can pull it off for me? Unless, would I be able to reach it? I don't know where exactly it would be on my back.
It's in that really awkward spot where you just can't quite reach.
I would turn it off, Rag. Do you mind pulling that out? It's marring the gold streak.
Can I pull it out?
No.
You can go ahead and grab it.
Yeah.
As you pull it out, the tip of it
Of course.
kind of like opens up into a mouth and tiny little appendages start reaching out, trying to maintain grip on Rose's back.
Oh, I hate it. Oh,
Yeah.
I hate everything about it.
Yeah, I just keep pulling.
No. Oh,
Can we?
no.
Do we all see the little mouth?
Yeah,
Oh, that
you
was
see the
in
mouth
my
and
body.
you see like the little pseudopods come out trying to reach for Ro.
In
Gets
the
in
real
like
world,
super close. He's just a little cute guy, and he tries to lick one of the pseudopods.
in the real world,
Like, oh, he's a good boy.
Because Sim's a licker.
He's a licker.
Is it not attached to her anymore?
You were able to pull it off, so no.
All right. If he's licking it, I'm just going to shove it right in his mouth.
here you go. It's a
You don't even
lollipop.
know me yet. That's just me.
Okay, so as
You
you
look hungry.
shove it into Sim's mouth, it is going to make a pseudopod attack because it's freaked
And
the
he'll
fuck
bite
out
down.
as
'Cause he
this
thinks-
satyr is
Yeah,
trying to
he's
eat
going
him.
to assume that means it's food. He's like, oh, I have a new friend who just taught me that this was a snack and not a friend. He's going to try and eat it.
Alright,
Especially Barrett's wearing like a fruit basket on his head at all times. Yum.
Yeah,
Delicious.
I have been feeding it for quite a while.
Yummy, yummy.
Does 14 hit?
Do we count my armor? Because if we do, then no, because I've got an AC of 15, but that's with armor.
But does he have armor in his
You
mouth?
have
That's what I'm
armor.
saying. So
I don't know if he shoved it in your mouth.
Yeah. So I am still
So
going
I'm
to
gonna
count
say it
the
probably
armor because it's based on dexterity. So as this little pseudopods are like starting to fling, trying to hit your face, you like successfully bite down on them, and it makes this horrible like screeching sound as you eat this tiny mimic.
Bro,
Ah, ah.
He's making airplane noises.
now, the next question is,
Open
does
the
it taste
tunnel,
good?
here comes the train.
It tastes kind of a little bit like the flail snails did, but with a substantial more meat and blood involved.
So Sim actually grabs the remaining piece that's not in his mouth, like that he kind of like yanks the piece that he bit off. He's like, huh, surprisingly good. Thank you. And then proceeds to continue eating the rest.
What? Do I have a and this might not be in the game. Is there any kind of spell, specifically a druid spell, to erase my memory in the real world of everything that just happened for the last like 5 minutes? Because this is awful, and I hate it, and it was in me.
No.
Yeah, it's like you were describing that being born. Is that from her? Is it?
Yeah. Did it eat my blood?
Her
And now
blood?
Sim's eating my blood?
Yeah. Is he?
It did not see. You can look on Rose's back. She does not have any puncture marks or anything like that.
Okay, it was just on me.
It was just on you. You
Bless
don't
you.
have like a burrowing thing.
Okay, I'll recover then. Because I legit, I started itching. Like, I felt it in the middle of my back, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. Oh, this is not good.
Yeah, you got like a legit like fear of that shit.
Yeah,
Just wait
no.
till it bursts out of my chest, alien style, later.
See, that I don't mind, because it's not me. It's fine. Someone else, super cool. I don't give a shit. Also,
Like
I'm
right as
anyway.
Sim is actually saving the day and like doing a super good deed, and she's so proud as a mommy leader, it's gonna erupt out of his chest and kill him.
I'm so proud of my baby.
Words.
Oh god, she would never recover. She would never recover. Anyway, yes. So she's just really confused, but thank you, Drask. Barrett, you're aware that you have those all over your dome piece, right?
Oh, I completely am oblivious to what just happened. I'm actually looking at the ornate symbol that was put on that's on the cloak.
It's like twirling in
I'm
front
much
of the mirror.
interested in this.
Yeah,
Yes.
Like, oh, this was
Just-
one of those, like,
Yeah, just kind of like
spider tip
Huh.
my shadow that might help
Huh.
enhance this.
yeah.
I
But
think
yeah,
it's
I'm like
highlight
I'm
on
kind
the
of
top
I'm infatuated of the ornate branding previously mentioned on the cloak. And I think it matches very well with the
The ornate hat.
with the ornate hat.
That
Can't
would
wait
come up.
like, uh-oh, I have to make a new character now. How did that happen?
We're gonna assimilate into
We are
one being.
Okay.
Okay.
Well-
So Spider is
We're gonna
still
need
not
longer.
here,
Uh,
and I know he wanted to sell the shells, but
Yeah.
you do get 2 full weeks worth for your party of
Okay.
food and water. which would be very, very heavy.
And I'll definitely row divvies it up between everybody because you carry quite literally your own weight. So everybody has their fair share of rations and water and all that jazz.
Okay. Um,
Should we move on and then come back when Travis gets back to this?
I think so, but I do have to use the head roll quick. So I'm actually going to recommend, while I spray my cat with water, a 5-minute break.
Okay. Puma. So Chris, how you like it?
That's good. Is that you guys are crazy?
I told you.
I can see
It makes a really nice
where you're
tone
coming
shift.
from.
It's a really nice tone shift from Paladins in Pajamas, though, because like our Saturday game was getting all like dark and grim and serious and apocalyptic, and then we started this game, and everyone just kind of ended up making chaotic characters, and I don't think anyone was really expecting that because we didn't coordinate a whole lot, except for Shayna, who came in with the stick in the mud and basically.
And I spent so long building that whole
she threatened to
culture.
kick most of us out of the group on the first day.
I was like, fuck all of you. I'm going to go on my own. I've got shit to do. I'm
She
trying
met
to
me,
save my
like,
whole
listen.
culture.
He's like, listen, I talked to Becca and I said there were certain things that are off limits from like my character, and Sim is seriously pushing those buttons. Either he or she are gonna like be out of this game if we don't
figured it
at
out.
it.
We figured it out.
I don't even remember what it was, but you were like, those are no-nos for Ro, and you need to make sure Sim's not doing that.
I think it was her pride, which is already getting better. Like, she's getting over it. But she was very, like, it was because you, like, on the first episode, I think, put a paint mark covering her gold, which, now that you've seen the cultural...
Yeah, you like turned her into a skunk.
No, something like that. Yeah.
Some shit like that.
Yeah, no, she just wouldn't fucking tolerate it. She's like, I don't need you, bitch, I'm a princess.
Trask hasn't seen any of Sim's tricksterous, pranky ways yet, so...
No, Ro
Yay.
will
And
get her when she gets the chance, but also he can handle it. So.
And this is my first real true campaign to add to that, so
This is Steph's first time actually.
not sure if it's a great start or a...
If the Mimic Hack does kill Barrett, it gives him the opportunity to make a character now that he's more educated as well.
Yeah.
So, not that I'm rooting for that, don't get me wrong, Steph, but if you're like, man, now that I'm into the game and I understand it more and I kind of wish I would have made some different decisions on my character ideas,
Yeah.
like, that gives you an easy story way for Becca to like make that happen for you if you ever wanted to go that way.
I'll totally have to think about that.
Wanting to be a sneaky rogue sniper.
I've gotten better.
Wielding melee combat.
I've gotten better.
Every fight we got into, he tried using his bow and missed and missed and missed and missed and.
And then I like crit 20 every time it was melee.
Wait, I have these dual hammers.
Sim actually grounded his bow for like 5 sessions because he kept missing also.
Yeah.
And he took it out of grounding and all of a sudden he was hitting. So like right now, Sim's like looking at the bow like, haha, taught you a lesson.
We're not a very good long range group. We're very close combat and then fire.
Well, don't worry. I'm not going to give you any kind of range.
Sim using his horns to headbutt things goes better than using a bow for some reason. Just
Par for the course.
magically.
Can I have my finger back, please? Thank you. Thank you.
Like, yeah.
He was play biting, but he just closed his mouth over my finger, and I couldn't pull it out.
Just hook
Like-
it up in the top of his mouth.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Thank you all. Let's go ahead and continue, and we will swing back to Spider's negotiations for the shells. Anyone who wants to go ahead and roll a nature or arcana check for me before you leave the warehouse.
You need everyone or just...
Anyone who
I gave you
wants
both. I gave you both.
to. Okay, so Ro and Drask.
Not at all.
Ro and Drask, you recognize that the materials that you are seeing in this warehouse that, while perhaps you might be able to get the reward for the bounty, those flail snail shells should be worth about 2,500. The bounty is only 300 gold pieces. Just want to point that out there before you leave.
Okay.
It's something that when Spider comes back, you can discuss with him.
Yeah. Ro would mention it, but she might not. Depending on his attitude when he walks in and sees that we're all there, she may still lowball it and be like, just so you know, I think that should be at least, and then I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, I can't ground him yet. So for now, yeah. He keeps avoiding my vines. It's annoying. I don't have a way to punish him. I'll figure it out. I can't just take away his toys because I don't know where he hid them all. What?
So, what would you like to do next?
I mean, head out. If we have everything that we need and no one else has any specific goals while in town, the sooner we can get everyone figured out in the southern side, the better.
Wait, this wasn't the mission? I thought this is what we were doing.
This is the prep for the mission. We need to go south and clear people out of there. I'm sorry, Sim. There were a couple of steps. We're starting now. I promise. This was part of it. There's just a little bit more to go. We have to go to the southern farms, and we need to find out how and why people are disappearing. Remember, you talked to the guy. We need to fix
the
guy.
Yes, we'll figure that out and get them out of there into safety. Then he'll teach you that spell. That's the part that needs to happen for you to learn the spell.
And that was predicated upon us trying, not succeeding. Because
No,
if they die,
succeeding.
I don't.
Yeah, they have to survive. As many as possible need to survive and get to safety.
Well, I got the poop end of that bargain.
I'm sure if you do a really good job, he may even be willing to help you with your VHS venture. Specifying how to get that spell and put it in a book that you can then distribute, and maybe he'll help you with the copyright issues if there are any.
Okay, well, you guys need to pick up the pace. Let's go. We're going to die.
I know. We're working on it. Come on. All right, and we'll gather everybody. And I really wish that in this game, I know the only one who definitely wouldn't allow me to is Sim, but you know those little animal backpacks that have like a latch and a leash? I really, really, really wish that I could make like Jagras ones for everybody, or have different. Everyone can pick one.
Oh my god!
Little leashes. Come on, guys, let's go.
Sim would not wear one.
I know you wouldn't.
You just walk in your puppies, yeah.
Not actually for the mechanics of the game, unlike Note needing to be tied to Tekka, but just something because it's so cute in my head. Just this lizard lady leading a pack of giant, insane creatures and one fabulous dwarf down the street. Like, all right, sorry, that mental image was just really, really good in my head.
So outside, Sim sprints for the carpet because he thinks like this is an action scene. Like they are running from an explosion, going to save lives. He has no idea how long this is going to take. He thinks it's happening right now. So he is sprinting for the carpet like live action hero.
All right. Don't get lost without us.
Carpet.
Don't leave without me.
He's not stopping. He
Didn't hear that at all.
He's sprinting for the carpet.
I don't want to cast spells on you.
It's with Spider's horse, wherever that is. I don't even know.
Probably right outside.
I may have chosen the wrong direction when I sprinted.
Possibly, considering that
you can roll for it.
Spider, the horse...
Yeah, roll for it.
You want a 1d4 for a direction?
Sure, we'll do a 1d4 for direction, because Spider had his horse at the warehouse.
Okay.
He's just like, just run south as if the carpet will be there for him.
You apparently run west towards the riverfront, or not the riverfront, the oceanfront.
The waterfront.
Because I feel like I'm making headway on training the carpet, whether I am or not, because you said maybe. Sim's convinced that he's training the carpet, whether he is or not. He's yelling, Carpet!
Real quick, really quick, I just realized Drask has no idea. So there's this magic carpet that technically Spider stole, but he says he won in a poker game /bet /he found. Anyway, there's a magic carpet, and Ro is actually explaining this to Drask as we're walking.
Spider and I totally stole it.
Yeah, so they totally stole it out of character. But so they have a magic carpet. There's a certain word that turns it into a trap. Be careful of that. Sim thinks it's hilarious, and Narga is going to destroy that thing if he gets caught in it again, because it didn't go well last time. So just letting you know, that's the thing. And I'll tell Chris about it later, but like the coins and things like that. She'll explain this along the way. The magical coins that he got from the fairy, who Sim talked to and made it okay, but they kind of stole it, but they're technically like trapped prisoners that are in the form of coins that randomly explode. It's a long story. We'll get to it. I am realizing just how long.
How much backstory.
Yeah, just how much we've been through.
And in hindsight, how many things has Sim fixed that Spider
A
has?
surprising amount, honestly. Sim is kind of our really abstract problem solver. Spider's the one who's like, haha, here's problems. I cultivate them and put them in my pocket.
And just like Loki,
me?
everybody hates me and blames me for everything.
Excuse me. Are we out of character or in character?
Out of character right now because it's
Perfect fucking timing.
I'm going to point at your avatar. Flying carpet. Okay.
That was you. You're the one who stole it. I mean,
was for
won
him.
it in a poker game.
Did you think I stole that?
We totally won that.
You admitted it, remember? Because I could tell that you were lying. And
You know,
like, all right.
Multiple stories.
Yes, you did. And I
You
knew
just
that
picked
you
the
were
worst
lying.
one to believe.
Yeah, you still don't know which one is real out of all of these.
We did have Spider. We all ended up, long story short, in the same place where you're trying to sell these flail snail shells. Just so you know. Like, we're all there now. I guess we can catch up.
Oh, you stalked us. This is
No,
where
we
we
were
have to
already
hang
there.
out.
You walked in later. We got there first. Excuse you. Because Sim was focused.
Sim is sprinting in the incorrect direction, west, yelling for carpet. Which is probably confusing to everyone he passes as well.
Yeah, everyone
Carpet, no.
turns, they look at you, they're very confused. Sim, I imagine, is still doing the whole nope thing every time that he...
Yep, nope, carpet, nope.
But I black out for a
wax
few
on,
minutes.
wax off. You know, he's just like,
So, Spider, you are at Elbun and Vega Eastern Trading Company. Elbun was the merchant prince that had put out the bounty for a rare hide to put on his wall.
Cool. So we brought him slug condos. What did he think?
So, he loves them. He is
But?
willing to pay, because the bounty is for 300 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
He is willing to buy them both off of you for 1,000.
Wow. I'm gonna look really disappointed.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of nudge Spider and be like, "You can get way more out of that."
Yeah, but we need to leave town soon. Do you think the next town will have a wealthy merchant prince?
carpet.
Just hear it like very faint off in the distance. Yeah.
Because Sim can make his voice just boom. So
Oh yeah, it's echoing through all of Sherwood.
At this
No!
point, all of the
Stop
bugs
talking to
and
me!
animals have gone silent.
No birds are chirping. No mice are scurrying. The children have
Spider,
silence.
you did miss a very ornate kind of.
He has
What?
a pretty cloak now.
Yeah, I have a pretty cloak that
bright purple.
Sim did a whole elaborate show and then threw over my back, draped around, and cinched on. That is very
It has the
bright,
logo
bright
for the.
purple.
Yeah, he is officially now a branded piece of property for the trading company, but we now have a discount because we are supporting their brands.
10%.
Is the cloak
Nice.
branded or am I branded now?
The
We never
cloak.
really.
The cloak.
Okay.
You have to be wearing that for us to get our discount.
So while we
Fair.
were negotiating this, were there other valuables that looked like they could float off if there were a tidal wave?
So this is actually the trading company. All of the valuables are getting put into crates and put onto ships.
Oh,
So it's all of the things from Akira, the silks, the cacao beans, the coffee beans, vanilla.
so when I say valuables, I mean small, easily transported goods of value to street vendors,
Not
like
exactly.
gold. Okay,
Yeah. Not in this location.
all right, because those other valuables are way too much work. So what's the scene with the chests look like? They're loading them up on ships, or are they sitting around that I could like walk by them on the way out or something?
Chests or crates? Because in this area, it's all crates.
Crates, yes.
Go ahead and give me either a perception or investigation check.
Well, I think we know which one that's going to be. Even though, I'll have you know, I am suddenly trained in investigation and now have a +2.
Ooh,
Oh, boy.
look at you.
Okay, so yeah, they seem to be having a lot of dock hands in this area, picking up the crates, moving it directly onto the ships. They're not really. Doesn't look like there's any that are not being guarded. There is a section further back that it looks like there's more guards versus deckhands.
So I'm wondering more about when they're like loading the stuff in the crates and nailing them shut to get a glimpse of what's inside of them and then passing them off to the next in line. Is there like a spot over there an honest worker could slip in and give a hand?
Yes, however, you really stand out.
Yes, but I'm talking about honest work.
Oh, not you. Okay.
The answer would be yes. There's definitely enough dock hands moving around that someone that could blend in and that doesn't stand 2 feet taller than everyone else with blue skin. They could probably...
And a hooved with a hooved horse with flail snail shells.
You underestimate my disguise kit proficiency.
You did make very, very beautiful. That's true.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Okay.
I'll take the 1,000 and I'll leave.
Okay.
After my sad story.
Okay.
I leave him with a sad story, and then I leave.
That's
All right, so you guys are headed south?
No, Sim's heading west,
That's right. You still
I
need to
shouted at him.
yelling carpet at the top of his lungs. Distance.
How much time do we have left?
Yeah, how long has it been since I said 2 hours?
At this point, it would have been about an hour and a half, roughly.
Okay. I don't think I have enough time.
I don't think I have anything to, like, yell out to him or, catch him in any way. So I guess we're just gonna unless anyone else has something, I guess we're just gonna have to hope he eventually does actually find himself going south instead of...
Well,
You
eventually,
were being so helpful, too!
eventually I'll hit the river apparently, and that's going to mean some
you,
kind of.
You pretty much have hit the ocean at this point, and the end of the piers and the docks.
Carpet?
Oh, shit!
Like he's like looking around like carpet. That's just so dejected.
Oh.
Where carpet is, and he thinks that carpet might have run off with puppy. And now he just doesn't know what's happening in life anymore, and all his friends are gone. And he turns around just slowly, head droop, and is now walking back somewhat in the direction he came.
Just imagine you looking at your reflection in the water. You're like,
He's like lightly singing, "Nobody knows The trouble I've seen.
Can I leave in front?
But when he gets to nobody knows, it's but carpet. And then when he gets that verse again, it's puppy.
Oh,
They're his two best
Aw.
friends.
yeah, carpet puppy. Somewhere along the way where he'd been running, can I druid craft like something in the ground or like an arrow that's like this way? Like a random bloom of flowers in the shape of an arrow going south.
Yeah,
Maybe and like scroll sim in the dirt or something.
yeah, you can do
Bunch
that
of
with
mushroom
Druidcraft.
caps.
You can do
That's
a
sure to work.
arrow of flowers.
Sam.
A bunch of mushroom caps.
You're more
Yeah,
likely to get his
that's more-
attention by
No,
making
he-
an arrow out of like undergarments. He will notice.
Well, I was going to say mushrooms are definitely more likely to get his attention. So they'll just be edible mushrooms. They don't have to be the psychedelic type, but...
But he gets his feelings on the way.
Oh,
See, you know this batch of cookies you made?
No, I'm saving those. Oh yeah, Chris, So I have technically THC cookies. It's a long story. There was a tree and it became a marijuana tree, and then I took it all, and now I have pot cookies.
Wonderful.
Yeah. They do really good healing, but also give you the munchies and or some slight paranoia, maybe. We don't know yet. Anyway, does Sim catch up with us before we leave town, or...
He's not moving fast. He's pretty dejected.
Okay.
He might not catch up until you can't, provided he actually maintains the trail somehow. If you breadcrumb it well enough.
Yeah, she'll continue. I mean, yeah, as long as 24 hours or something like that, I think it says. Oh well.
okay. So, as you leave the southern end of Sherwood and start heading off to the farms down there, it's only going to be a couple hours journey, 2, 3 maybe, to the first farm. Before you reach the first farm, someone steps out of the woods that you do recognize. He is wearing pants this time. But that...
Naked dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Sven steps out and says, I see you found your way. And he's kind of leaning against one of the trees. And he just kind of says, that was kind of dirty work back there, but I understand. But you see, there's a bit of a conundrum here for me, and you. And he kind of pauses and waves his arm out to all of the encompassing valley of farms before you. See these farms here? We'd like to be able to continue on our way as we have business elsewhere, but one of my clanmates has gotten himself captured by these farmers, and they won't let him go. So we are clan sabers, more than willing to move on and leave these farmers to their thing. But I kind of need my chum back.
What kind of assurance can you give us that you will actually move on and not bother anyone under the jurisdiction of Sherwood or the Niti Nation again?
Well, I don't exactly know what the Niti Nation is, but, we've kind of been harassed by these Sherwoodians, and,
Whites.
we just kind of need to find a better place to set up our own little society group home. But the farmers, they seem to think my clanmate has been eating their children, and I know he wouldn't do that. They're planning to hang him by tomorrow if something goes wrong. You all seem to be very persuasive. At least you're really able to persuade me. You can see some reason into those folks. They all are holed up in the farm for some reason, and they won't talk to any of us. If you could reason with them to get my clanmate back, we'll be on our way. We'll leave all of these people to it, and once I find out what the Needy Nation is, we will also make sure to steer clear of there.
Certainly willing to try and talk to them, but I can't make any kind of guarantees. They are understandably upset about the loss of their people, and my understanding is that you and your clan are at least tangentially connected to that.
No, we just happened to get swear. We just happened to get caught in the crossfires. You know.
Insight.
Okay.
Because no.
Yeah, I swear.
Can I give him advantage by backing up his story? Yeah, he looks.
If that's the case, then wouldn't I get advantage from Sim telling you the truth earlier? Because Sim told me all this. This wasn't my assumption. Spider.
But Spider doesn't know that. Spider wasn't there when I
No,
told
I
you.
know.
You.
It's fine. He's just giving her more and more reasons to distrust him.
Okay.
Distrust.
Yeah. He definitely.
Interesting how the tables have turned, and Sim is suddenly the trustworthy one.
Yeah, Sim is the trustworthy one in this instance.
Jeez.
Which says you fucked up, Spider.
Alright. Well, I don't think he is going to beat your insight.
And she's gonna give some serious side-eye to Spider. Like, dude.
Just side-eye.
Dude,
So-
really? And lizard side-eye, so it's even more like...
So.
I'll take it!
Okay. Sven definitely has his own insight, his own desires in mind.
Right.
He isn't being completely truthful regarding whatever's going on at the farms.
Right.
And whatever he is going to promise, if he can find a way out of it.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Wait, don't I have a thing? I think I have a... Oh, well, I can do that later, I suppose. I want to find some way to bind him to his word, but I thought I had a magic item for that.
A blood pact.
Yeah, no, something along the lines, some kind of fey pact, but since Sim isn't here, I can't get his advice on that. But okay. Alright, we'll go to talk to our farmers, I guess.
And Sven leaves you on your way and retreats back into the forest. Now, that interaction wouldn't take too terribly long, and so Sven is still trailing behind you somewhere.
Poor Sim. Dejected.
You hope.
Fingers crossed you're following. I'm continuing, breadcrumb trail, but of mushrooms.
Okay, so the first farm that you reach is a two-story white farmhouse sitting amongst a grain field. A large barn off to the right. You're approaching from the front of the house, and even from a distance, you can tell that something is wrong. Something is very wrong. The front door of the farmhouse hangs askew, only connected to the frame by the bottom hinge. The doors of the barn are also wide open. While you can see harnesses for horse or oxen, you see no such beasts anywhere. For that matter, you don't see any other farm animals. Next to the barn is a small chicken coop, but the roof has been ripped open and there is no movement nearby.
What does it mean?
Sure.
It's like eerily quiet.
Yeah, I'll be kicking a rock when I say that. Definitely not making eye contact with her anymore.
It wasn't me.
Just sulking, like looking down, just
Yeah.
kind of.
It's like, oh, the baby.
Tusks
mad
pointed
at
up.
me. Oh. But that, I mean, can I do, I don't know if it would be like an investigation or if I just perception to see if what else I notice about all this, other than that it's generally a bad setup.
Before you, enter the farm?
Yeah, before we technically enter the area, just kind of like, hold on. Does this feel really awful to anybody else?
Yeah, I feel kind of bad about it.
So you were involved, I'm kidding.
Okay.
So you did do it!
No, if I did it, I would.
Haha, you're the best! Yeah, you wouldn't feel bad, you'd be like,
Yeah, you can.
They deserved it.
You can certainly do a perception check before
Okay.
you get any closer.
I'll do that then. I need to update my sheet.
you do see a couple of spots where there might have been something happened scuffle-wise. Looks like,
Yeah.
but until you get closer or take a closer look inside the buildings, no other information.
Anybody else see or want to do anything?
I'll do a perception check.
Everybody, yeah.
For
All right.
10 minutes.
I'll do a perception as well.
Spider's too self-absorbed in his guilt.
You don't have guilt, liar. You can't fool me.
I actually misread that. I am sorry. So, Barrett and Roe, you
Okay.
both would see that you find a set of trails, several different ones. One appearing to be a man who's fleeing from several four-legged creatures. Those tracks seem to weave back and forth. And with Barrett, you can see that those tracks seem to... The four-legged creatures seem to be corralling the runner.
We can use a draw.
And they seem to be keeping him in a certain direction. At certain points, they would dash ahead to scare him back to the original direction to keep him going where they wanted him to go. A second trail follows the same path, but more directly, and these tracks seem to be a number of people dragging 2 or 3 people behind them. The victims seem to have been conscious, as there is evidence that they were thrashing.
Would I know the prints of the animal at all from my?
Go ahead and give me a survival check. You do have
Okay.
advantage. I mean, it is the farmstead, but the woods are still around, so I'm still counting it as part of your favor.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. 15. It looks like maybe wolf, possibly wolf prints, but they're kind of big.
Okay. And then if I could use primeval awareness.
Okay.
Just trying to
That's what's there.
sense what's there.
At this moment, you don't sense any of them within 6 miles.
Okay.
Sorry, you do sense Faye. You sense...
Hey, man, I'm that far behind.
Yeah. You do
Like,
sense...
I'm on the list, right?
Yeah, sorry. You do sense Faye behind you along the path a couple miles back, and you possibly sense some Faye. It's a little fainter off to the east amongst the forest.
Okay. I'm gonna tell Ro and be like, wait, like there was obvious scuffle here, but it looks like looks bestial, almost wolf-like. But other than Sim, it feels like there's just a very faint of presence. Like whatever it was here, it now feels like it was gone.
What direction were they corralling the runner?
You said off to the west, right?
Mm-hmm. Off to the west.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so not necessarily towards the house.
Okay.
Or is that
Do you choose to follow the trail of the people being dragged or the person being corralled?
Well, do you know how far off? I mean, you sense the single Fae presence trailing behind us. I know you probably wouldn't be able to know immediately that it was Sim, but do we know since I don't know quite how the primeval awareness lasts long term, would he be able to determine some kind of time frame for how long it may take him to catch up to us if Sim continued this way?
How long does primeval awareness...
It's supposed to last a minute, and it doesn't reveal the exact location. But
Okay.
it's supposed to be like
So you couldn't do the math. And
like you would know like the general direction kind of
Yeah,
deal.
you would know that the Fae off to the west is getting further away and actually blips out of your range. The Fae following along the path behind you is getting closer steadily at a slow pace.
Okay. Well, before we went off whichever direction we do go off in, then I would continue to leave signs for Sim and just trust that he'll catch up to us eventually. But I'll ask if anyone has a preference for which way we go, because I mean, honestly, they're all probably going to end up in the same place, but do we want to go after the ones who are being dragged or the one who was running?
Spider gives a one-shoulder shrug.
Can we check like the house or the area they were like dragged from first?
Yep, you could definitely check the house, and there is still the barn area as well.
Just see if there's like any more clues as to like what exactly it is, or
Okay, what kind of check would you like to do? And is this the house or the barn?
Let's start with the house, maybe?
Okay.
Perception check.
Okay. All right. As you're looking through the house, you find a large cabinet that sits in one of the rooms. Its doors are open. It looks like it was used to store linens, but it appears as if something heavy has been recently resting on those linens.
Like sleeping on it? Or?
Something heavy has been sitting there.
Okay. Should we... wondering if we should wait or...
I think if we don't find anything else.
Yeah. So that was just
Look
your
at that.
perception check. You do, and that was from Barrett. Anyone else want to do anything?
Yeah,
Investigate, survival.
I'll do a perception as well.
Okay. Alright. So you do see scratches across the floor, suggesting that at least as large as a man, animals or similar creatures were involved in this area.
Okay. And I'll point them out to Barrett.
Also with that roll, from the remains of the ashes in the fireplace and half-burnt wood in the fire, you can guess that it has been burning for about 4 hours since the last time the fire was tended.
Okay. So we know that this was recent. Yeah. Okay. So from there, I guess, if no one else wants to be doing anything, we'll go check out the farm now.
I will, before you leave, I will say this. The house is very silent, but it appears as if something has happened here, obviously. The kitchen looks as if a tornado has hit, the large table has been flipped on its side, and the dishes, which look like may have been set, are scattered across the floor. Food and other kitchen debris strewn over the floor and counters. Sorry, my notes were backwards. I should have. A small sitting room also looks like there was a struggle. A wooden chair looks like it was set so that someone could watch over children playing here. The chair lies on its side, a dark stain splattered across the wood. The toys have been knocked about as if something had scrambled through the midst of them. Fire still burns in the hearth, although it is dying out now.
Okay. I mean, honestly, if no one else has anything in particular that they're wanting to do, it's just going to be a matter of continually investigating everything until something else pops up. But
Yeah, I think if we're not finding anything, I think like let's
well,
I tell Ro and go to her and be like, it seems the place has been pretty ravaged and really nothing left of significance. Like, let's find out where these people are at and if they're still alive. And suggest to go down the Westwood path.
Okay. Now, with your previous survival check for that, I'm not going to have you roll again because you rolled high enough. You follow the path, and you've not traveled all that far from the house, but you can no longer see past the deep forest. Ahead of you is a sight which makes most of you stop in your tracks. 3 bodies hang from the branches of a large tree. 2 are strung up by their feet, their arms hanging limply down. The other is strapped up by their hands. All 3 have had their torsos cut open, and they seem to be missing most of their internal organs. Around the area there is blood, but not nearly enough for 3 bodies in this state. Furthermore, the blood is not pooled under the bodies, but scattered around the area in odd lines and circles.
Spider looks up.
And unless everyone wants to continue, I would suggest that would be a good stopping point with a bit of a cliffhanger.
I thought we were playing until tomorrow morning, like all nighter. What the heck?
That would be the teenage version of.
Well, I mean,
Catch up and actually be
we're
involved.
only a couple hours away from my birthday here. We should at least press on.
Happy birthday.
I'm just teasing.
Nah.
Alright. No, that works to stop as a cliffhanger and then.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm triangulating their paths by marking each of them in order.
Well, Chris, welcome to the Sun Puppies.
Yep.
I hope
Sorry.
you're entertained for the first.
Probably way
He's
too
gonna go
lost.
binged just so that he can understand all the context of the craziness that's going on.
Well, it's good because Drask doesn't know what's going on. So,
Yeah, it's actually perfect.
and Drask is starting to wonder what he did wrong to be put in this position. So you can just say no.
Trust me, Ro has been wondering that this whole time.
She really has.
She's like, God, what have I done wrong? I've tried to be a good person, good wizard.
Alright.
Wait, you're a wizard?
I said wizard.
You're a lizard, Harry.
Wizard, Harry.
I bet you're a thumping good one.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah wah.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream.
She's